Hi, my name is John Armstrong, Chairman and CEO of Lead Horse Technologies. And the video you're about to watch emphasizes the current functionality available through the Medloom Clinical Decision Support System, but presented in the context of a smartphone, in this case an iPhone, specifically in an iPhone application that we are developing that's not yet ready for commercial launch, but which emphasizes everything that is available for commercial launch through Medloom, through web services and a plug-in to your existing electronic health record system. In essence, what I'm going to show you is how you can improve patient safety and the bottom line from your smartphone. What we at Lead Horse believe the future of medicine is described by a term that has evolved over the last year in the field of personalized medicine, something that's known as P4 medicine. And that involves medicine that is predictive, preventive, personalized, and participatory. At Lead Horse, we think personalized medicine is something more too. That is, the future of personalized medicine is also mobile. So at this point, I want you to see a video of our new iPhone application that demonstrates everything currently available in our web-enabled clinical decision support system, Medloom. I want you to imagine real-world safety signals discovered using artificial intelligence-based analysis of millions of case reports, and then imagine integrating those safety signals in real time with your entire patient record system and seeing at a glance which patients of yours may be at risk, all from your iPhone. When you log in to Medloom's iPhone, you'll see our early warning system, which is able to use AI technology to identify patients at risk. So you'll choose early warning, and in this case, you'll see a number of adverse events we've discovered in the real world that have a link to patients of yours. And we identify, for your eyes only, those patients who are at risk for instance, a myocardial infarction. In this case, we show you at a glance the level of significant association between a myocardial infarction and Jane Doe. Moreover, we show you how patients in the real world who developed this problem align with patients like yours. Age, gender, active diagnoses or background conditions and symptoms. Again, we'll only show you an alignment if those background conditions and age and gender demographics align with patients like yours. And with that information, we can prompt you to flag that patient for follow-up so that patients like Jane Doe don't fall through the cracks. On the other hand, there's other things you can do. You can order a lab test. Perhaps there's a heart condition you want to check to see if Jane has. And in collaboration with you, a lab test organization, we can do business. On the other hand, labs that you order that confirm Medloom's early warning signals can confirm that an adverse event was impending and you can prevent that from happening. Alternatively, you can schedule Jane Doe to come in for an interview. Do either an inpatient interview, order lab tests, refer her to another doctor. Again, there's a positive impact on health economics, but there's still more that you can do. Let me show you Medloom's prescription pre-authorization support. That is, AI technology proactively helping you to make patient safety better. In this case, we'll choose prescription pre-authorization, and we'll enter a patient, in this case Jane Doe, that we want to put on a particular drug. Well, quickly, let's look at the real-time link to your existing EHR system to confirm her medications list and her diagnoses. Yes, I see Jane has rheumatoid arthritis and joint pain. I want to put her on a COX-2 inhibitor. Let's say it's Vioxx or rofecoxib. Well, in this case, I'll initiate the pre-auth process, and what happens in real time is that we show you that a significant danger signal has been found that affects patients like Jane, showing you the alignment with those patients' age and gender and background conditions and symptoms, giving you a choice to continue the pre-auth process or modify that. Well, let's try a different COX-2 inhibitor. In this case, maybe not rofecoxib, but let's try Celebrex. Initiate a pre-auth process, and in this case, we find no statistically significant associations between Celebrex in patients like Jane and the outcome of myocardial infarction. In this case, you may choose to then continue your pre-auth process, but do so from the context of your iPhone. That functionality is only available from Medloom. So everything I just showed you is functionality that exists in our current clinical decision support system, Medloom, in its available SaaS model as a plug-in, a bolt-on to any of your electronic health record information, whether that's a claims database, an electronic medical record system, a personal health record system, all of that's available now. Well, for that technology, Lead Horse Technologies, and in partnership with its global technology partner InterSystems, has now won multiple international awards, including Innovator of the Year, that is #1 in healthcare for 2009 globally in a competition involving 55 companies from 13 different countries. We also won Gartner Health IT Summit's Best Case Study in November of 2009, a competition in which we beat both Microsoft and Informatics Corporation of America. And in this year, 2010, November 2010's Healthcare IT Summit, we not only were finalists for Best Case Study, but also for Best New Technology and the solution with the greatest market potential. Beat out by companies with hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue already. That's not bad for a company that's just now going to market. Well, the challenge that we address with our Medloom decision support system is recognizing that alerts are needed to give a heads up to healthcare professionals about adverse drug reactions. And the reason alerts are necessary is because there is very little safety information known for drugs that have just come to market. In fact, for serious adverse drug reactions, that is, those that result in hospitalization or death, more than half of those do not get entered into an FDA-approved drug label until that drug has been on the market for 7 years. Well, that's a lot of time and a lot of potential hospitalizations and death that have occurred to that point before the doctors are given a published caution, precaution, contraindication, or warning in the drug label about that potential serious adverse drug reaction. And the problem with the published alerts is that they're based on knowledge that has gone through a peer-reviewed process, years of validation before the FDA requires the drug manufacturer to put that information into the drug label. So knowledge-based alerts are always out of date. We don't mean to say that doctors should be getting more alerts. Actually, our opinion is that doctors should be getting fewer alerts, but that the alerts that a healthcare professional receives should be tailored to the specific patients under that doctor's care. Their age, their gender, their background diagnoses, their medical procedures, including all of their medications list, whether it's prescription, over-the-counter, or nutraceuticals, vitamins, herbals, and supplements. So you might ask yourself, why should we be concerned about alerts when we have published drug-drug interaction information and we have published adverse event information in every decision support system and electronic health record system currently available commercially? Well, there is a good reason for that. So when you ask, so what? The answer is that in spite of everything commercially available, lives are lost every day to preventable adverse drug reactions. How many lives? The Institute of Medicine of the National Academy of Sciences in the United States points out that about 100,000 lives are lost every year in the United States to preventable adverse drug reactions. That amounts to the same number of lives lost when a jumbo jet crashes and kills everyone aboard every day of the year in this country. In fact, the amount of money spent in every hospital in this country is up to $5.6 million per year treating preventable adverse drug reactions. With 6,000 registered hospitals, that's a $30 billion market for hospitals alone. What is needed, as I said before, are better and earlier alerts. Not more alerts, but better alerts and earlier alerts. So, in essence, we built Medloom on InterSystems Cache, the world's fastest database, and one that is the basis of 60% of this country's health IT systems, including the VA's Vista EMR system, GE Healthcare, Epic Systems, Intermountain Healthcare, Geisinger Healthcare, Johns Hopkins, and in fact, many health information exchanges from around the world. We built Medloom on that same system, that same database structure, to stop that jumbo jet from crashing. And we do it because of some proprietary technologies we've developed at Lead Horse and embedded inside the Medloom decision support system. For one thing, Medloom allows you to find drug safety information about any adverse event term you enter, whether you say it correctly or not. So in other words, you can say hepatotoxicity, and we'll find information when you've only specified jaundice, or you can say liver tox, and we'll find liver failure. In fact, we link your adverse event search term to the International Standard of Clinical Term Ontologies called SNOMED CT, and automatically generate a list of hundreds to thousands of related clinical terms that we then search through the world's databases of drug safety, whether it's a prescription drug, an over-the-counter, or an herbal, nutraceutical, vitamin, or supplement. That's one of our technologies. Another is that we show you adverse drug event information that only pertains to your patient's specific medical profile. There is absolutely no sense and a lot of disadvantage in providing a healthcare professional with an alert about a certain adverse event associated with some statin when that information only applies to lactating women and you're treating a 70-year-old prostate cancer patient. We put those filters in so that the only alerts you get from us are pertinent to the patients that you treat. And lastly, we use artificial intelligence and real-world surveillance to identify statistically significant associations between any drug combination and any specified adverse event so that we can identify which of your patients may be significantly at risk for any adverse drug event. Here's a case study. About a month ago, that is February 4th of 2011, the FDA approved a drug label adding a risk of serious cardiovascular events to the drug label for the diabetes drug Avandia, or rosiglitazone. Well, on September 23rd of 2010, the FDA actually gave a heads up to prescribers of Avandia that this warning was coming. So all healthcare professionals had a 5-month warning that the drug label for Avandia was going to include a new warning that perhaps there can be a risk of cardiovascular events in your patients. Why am I showing you this? Because we ran our Medloom AI-embedded pattern recognition technology against the FDA's own data, 13 years of data, millions of individual case reports, and found a statistically significant association between acute coronary syndrome, that is myocardial infarction or unstable angina, and the prescription of Avandia. And the point I want to make is we found that in data that came from the FDA's database more than 3 years before the FDA even gave prescribers of Avandia a heads up in September of 2010. So your pop quiz today is this: how many lives could have been impacted by having this information accessible at the point of care? And the answer is this, published 3 days later, that GlaxoSmithKline said they are setting aside $250 million to settle 5,500 Avandia death lawsuits. We at Leadhorse think it's time to take artificial intelligence-driven pattern recognition that provides for early drug safety signal detection out of the research environment and put it at the point of care. Because my question to you is this: how long does patient safety have to be compromised before you start implementing 21st century technology into your practice of 21st century medicine? That's the point of this video. We think the time is now. In summary, integrating statistical early drug safety signal detection at the point of care can save many, many lives and reduce their associated healthcare costs. It is InterSystems technologies, that is their Cache database and their Ensemble integration engine, that make this possible. And Medloom from Leadhorse Technologies is the only clinical decision support system that has this capability. Thank you very much.